Hello, hi, and welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you can hear me over my heater it just turned on. Again, it is that time of year again. And again, I believe that last year in like 2024 when I was doing my 2025 lineup, it was 4 a.m. and also freezing cold. It is again 4 a.m. Well, nearly enough. It's like 3:30 a.m. and also freezing cold. But let's do my 2026 lineup. Now, eagle-eyed viewers or eagle-eared viewers, eagles I think have good hearing, right? I know owls do. But anyway, might remember me saying that 2026 already had a theme year and everything was picked out. Yeah, about that, it got moved to not 2026. I don't want to give too many spoilers if you haven't seen that video, because like I am planning on like doing a whole thing over it, but I did not gather the materials that I needed because I needed other people to help me gather the materials, meaning I needed them to do something for that video, and I either forgot to ask those people or forgot to remind those people. So yeah, my bad. It will happen. It's still in a pile. That's also why if you are also an eagle-eyed viewer, you might hear me say, I don't have any more of these journals. And you'll be like, wait, no, like, I'm not seeing this journal from your unused journal videos. I still have the journal. I didn't unhaul any of them. It's just set aside for something else. So now that we got all that housekeeping out of the way, I am going to do this year's video a little bit different, and this year's lineup a little bit different. I typically like will really hardcore plan and then change the plan and then change the plan and then plan and then change the plan and then plan again and then change the plan again and then completely just go like, you know, whatever my feels are. When it comes to my journal lineups, and this year I'm just kind of gonna go by vibes based. So originally I was going to say I don't know what I'm going to have for my January journal. Also, please don't mind my really chipped nails. I'm so sorry about them. So originally I was like, oh, I don't have a January journal picked out. And then I picked out this one last minute, right as I was about to film this video. This journal was in the lineup for the Valentine's Day journal this year, but then we ended up going with journal 137, which was that journal, and that's a-okay. I actually have printed off a lot for this journal, and I might, depending on like when you're watching this, I might have it pre-prepped. Right now, obviously, it's not pre-prepped. Or I may not. I might be prepping as I go, which either is fine. And then we get into kind of like the journals that don't really have a timeline. So I do know for sure that I want to use this journal because this journal is a journal that came with a challenge. My brother gave this journal to me, and his challenge was that I write it from Delilah's point of view. And I was kind of overwhelmed by that when I received it. And so I held on to it for multiple years. Like, we're talking maybe like 10 plus years, maybe. Yeah, held on to it for multiple years. And now I feel like I'm up for the challenge because I just was overthinking of it. And honestly, I think for a couple of those years, I kind of forgot that that note card was in that journal. And then this journal is also kind of just representing a Pokemon journal. In general, I really wanted to use a Pokemon journal for this year and it just didn't work out, but that's a-okay. So I will use a Pokemon journal for next year. Now, if you did watch my, I finished my favorite Pokemon drawn journal video, you know that this journal was like 11-12 years in the making, and I did finish drawing and coloring all these Pokemon. And I will say that it is the exact same of this journal where it has lines on one side and blank on the other side. And when I moved into this journal, if I wasn't so tired that day, I was just like really exhausted from like the trip that I had. But I kind of thought about ending the journal before on the same 24-hour period, starting and ending this journal in the same 24-hour period, and then starting the third journal, the journal after, in the same 24-hour period. I wanted to do that for journal 149 here, but again, I was just a little bit too tired. I think I finished this one too early, actually. I don't know if it was the same 24-hour period, but anyway, I didn't do it for this section, so I thought about doing it for this section, and then I gave grace to myself. So this journal might be substituted for this journal. Like I said, it's a stand-in for a Pokemon journal. The last two that I know for sure I'm going to use are at least like one of these two. And it will be used in November when the Sunrise on the Reaping movie comes out. That's so exciting. It's crazy to think that the book literally came out in like March of 2025. So in this journal, and was announced in June of 2024, or at least I think that's when I heard about it anyway. So in this journal, so in the same shelf, in the same two shelves, we will have the announcement of the book, the movie, or then the book release, and then the movie. I think the book and the movie were announced at the same time. But because of this, I know that I will use at least one of these two, unless a Sunrise on the Reaping journal comes out and I get my hands on it. As far as I know, no, none has been released. Okay, this is where we're getting out of order because technically the Hunger Games journals were like planned for November, and I am going to remember in this video to add the Halloween journals. So I don't know which one I'm going to use. This one's new to you guys, but you saw me prepping it in kind of like my Chat with Kat videos. I kind of overfilled it, let's be honest. Like, it is already chunky and there's no writing in it, and no letters as well, I don't think. Maybe. Let me check. Okay, I did check. There are letters in it, so that's why it's chunky. But a Halloween journal will be used. Maybe two of them. Who knows? If I had to bet, I would say that I would use this one most, like, out of all of these, most likely this one will be 100% used next year because I put the letters in, and also, like, putting the letters in is kind of how I'm journaling currently until I use up all the old letters that I have saved up. And as I learned from this one, where I put all those comics in there and I had to kind of rearrange how I do my journal routine and journal setups, like, I'll probably want to use this one just in case I change up my journal routine and setups later, years from now. And this one, like, you know, sits on my shelf for years and years and years. And just like the Halloween, a Christmas journal will be used. Wait, you're not Christmas. What are you doing here? Okay, if you don't recognize these two from the unused journal video, you're not crazy. They were made in Chat with Kat videos, at least the covers. They're not, nothing is done for the inside. It's not like the Halloween journal. But these two things were done on the inside, but before I actually relaunched the channel. If you want the insider scoop, this guy was actually a runner-up for one of the January journals because of the snowman. It's like little snowman and cookies. But I'm like so limited on the Christmas journals anyway that I would hate to take away from the Christmas journals. Other runner-ups of journals that I might use next year are these 5 blue journals, or at least 4 of the blue journals, because they already have names. I wanted to pick out journals that kind of matched for the names because they're funny to me. But they would have to be written in consecutively. So it would happen probably from like March basically until September. So I have time and it'll be fine. But those are like the unspoken for months as of right now. Which those blue journals have been on my shelf for one of the longest. I think they're candidates for one of the longest years, coming in into my life at like 2017, 2018-ish. 2018 for sure. But if you noticed on my kind of holiday journals, I had Halloween, I had Christmas, we already had Valentine's spoken for. Where's Pride Month? Yeah, I have come to the devastating conclusion that I no longer have any Pride journals. All of them are spoken for. And I'm going to try my hardest not to buy any more Pride journals, but I can if I want to. I mean, of course I can if I want to. I'm like a free woman. But I mean, like, if I feel the absolute need to. I'm showing you this one because it could be used as a Pride journal. Okay. Oh, we have a Delilah cameo. She just tripped over you. I am pulling out these journals to represent my feeling of legal obligation to... Delilah has the zoomies because she was napping and we woke up because she thought we were going to bed and we're not. Hi. Oh, goodness. Hey, get away from that. That's a burning candle inside, honey. Okay, at least you're not burning your whiskers off like last time. Don't worry, last time was when she was a kitten, okay? All right, so these two journals represent my feeling of legal obligation that I have to have at least one cat journal in my rotation ever since the year of the cat. I mean, in 2024, we had kind of a small one like this, but then also a normal pink one. Not like this, more like this one. Ooh. A normal size pink one like this, but not spiral. And then in 2025, we had another one. So maybe I should just finish out the trio of like my small notes cat things. And then that will be my legal obligation. This one used to be my joke notebook. I held jokes in here. Okay, a decision has been made in real time with you guys. And are you tired of seeing these three yet? There you go. Now you can see that one better. These, if you're new here, have been put on the roster for the last 2 years. These two, I'm using the second halves of them for something that's a secret. It's just for me to know. I'm sorry, it's private. It's private. This one, I did a TikTok joke in. I did the Josh Hutcherson whistle. But I really like it. I think it's really cute. However, I do think I'm overthinking it because it says, remember you dreamed of being where you are now. And I keep thinking like, oh, well, past me wouldn't have dreamed for this. Like, this is not big enough. When in reality, it is. Like, I mean, technically right now, where I am now, I at one point dreamed to be there. Even though now I feel like that it's not that big of an accomplishment for like a past version of myself to dream of. And I'm not gonna lie, like ever since December 24 and January 2025, I've been scared of these hardbacks just because they got so big and chunky, and like I broke the spine in the January one, which was 136, I think, new era or something. And I've been a little bit scared. However, a little bit spoilers of what I'm doing. Well, actually no spoilers because I am posting shorts and you would have already seen them. I'm posting daily shorts of me rereading my manuscript, which means that I'm taking a lot of notes because I'm doing the edit that I call analyze proofing, which just basically means that everything, like, if someone were to question it, it has a reasonable answer. And not saying that I spell it out for the reader, but just like I make sure that I understand what the answer is and not like the, oh, I never thought of it like that way. So while I'm doing that, I like to write a lot of notes, and I don't like my journals to bulk up. So for these journals, just because of their make, I probably won't be putting the like 5 or so letters in. I probably will be putting like 1 letter per, but also I don't want to do a lot of like extra stuff to make it junky or just kind of like cluttered, if that makes sense, where it has like a lot of random spreads and stuff, because I'll probably just want to like flip through and look for the red pen, which means editing, and not have to kind of go over anything else. So nothing will be taped in these journals, A, to keep them from being bulky, but like also B, to make navigation through the journals very easy. And I do know that I can like have little tabs, and I've had done tabs in the past, as you can tell with like all these little guys. So that's just how I'm working. It's how it works right now. So maybe we can put these back on the roster. Who knows? Hi, editor Catherine here. Notice how the lineup's already kind of changed. This is my life. So I forgot some fandoms, went back, recorded that, was editing the video. I was just going to add it at the end, and then realized I forgot to look up the release dates of everything that's coming out next year, because that kind of, you know, affects when I use the journal. So we're going to try and make this really, really quick. So January, February, March, April, May. All of these have names. I only thought that like 4 of them had names, but all 5 have names. And then like May as well. June for Pride, so this is going to be maybe my officially last Pride journal. Also in June, season 3 of House of the Dragon should release, so there it is. July is Delilah's I Got You month, so there it is. This journal is the stand-in for spooky season, which is like, for me, starts in August. So August, September, November, or sorry, August, September, and October. I left some space here to represent, you know, like some freebie journals that like might be these journals if they have to be brought down, or the like pink and black journal that keeps being on my lineup. Then November. Apparently November 15th is when Halo Combat Evolve is going to release, so we have a Halo journal. November 26th is when the new Hunger Games movie is going to come out, so we have a Hunger Games journal. And this one you have not seen. It's because it's the last fandom that I needed to add, and I have always wanted to do a Star Wars Christmas themed journal, and I figured why not? I already printed off like years ago a lot of stuff to pre-decorate it, so I'm going to pre-decorate it and I'm going to use it. And with that, I think I'm done.